channel.
What is going on, No Press fam? And we're back with another one. Now, if you followed the event every year, you'll know that I at least do 12 episodes. And this one has been a fan favorite that I had to make sure it was on this one as well. I'm talking, of course, of the Outlaster match. This match is all about the last one standing in an all-out fight. The rules are simple. I explain their feats, provide you an argument on both ends, and then we declare one clear winner. Alright, you guys ready? Here we go. Representing the Mr. Nobody film, Mr. Nobody, Hutch Mansell. Alright, so let's talk about the man. He had to allow robbers to rob him to avoid blowing his cover as a former operative. He could tell based on his limited interactions how old they might be, the feelings of emotions, the weapon they possessed, and that it wasn't even loaded or shot in a while. He hunted down those robbers and got into their house and threatened to end their life for a kitty cat bracelet. Fought off 3 drunken guys inside a bus. Took a blade to the side, stabbed a man with a blade, yanked it out, and smashed someone in the face with a wine bottle and fell out of a window. Finished a few blades, another he strung like a hog on his neck using a bus belt, and last one he pulled a pole off the bus and used it to stop the guy from shooting him and taking him out in the process. He saved the last guy from choking on his blood by improvising using a straw and a small incision through the neck. 8 trained hitmen in his house armed to the teeth with only minutes to react. He placed his family in a panic room and then one by one took them down. We're talking about the hitmen. 1 with a tea kettle, 2 with a bat, 2 with a kitchen knife, took out another with their own guns. They surprised him with a taser to take him out. He left only 3 alive. He was kept inside a trunk, handcuffed, and he snapped his thumb to get off those cuffs and then found a fire extinguisher inside the trunk and used it to fill the inside of the car seats so that the bad guys would lose control of the wheel and crash. He then got out of the trunk after the damages was done. He was called an auditor. He explains this to one of the victim's last moments. He was sent by the American government as an agent whose sole job is to take out targets off the face of the earth, leaving no soul alive. He had 4 hitmen placed on his couch and then created a trigger on his record player to burst the whole house into flames, something he knew the fire would burn to extreme temperatures to eliminate the bones, which is why he bought the damn house. Hot-wired a Mustang car. He bought a whole building so he can set homemade traps, knowing lots of hitmen he knew would eventually come. He came to the bad guy's money laundering location to get his attention, demolishing the place and taking out at least 20 men. Went to have dinner at bad guy's place of business with 9 men surrounding him, only for them to be surprised with the weapon he was packing, which was an active landmine he had while holding the trigger on a wire on his thumb. Okay, so just keep that in mind. He had a landmine on him and he was holding it. If you ever seen the Joker film with the Dark Knight, you'll see how he's holding like a pin with a string and that he could blow the whole place up. Kind of like that. Exactly like that, actually. He walked away from the exchange just to bait them into coming towards his place of business laced with booby traps. Now the car chase. He was trapped in an alley with the enemy having his front end blocked with another car. While blocking it, the men were shooting into his car, and on the back of his car he was being shot to bits by several other shooting a hail of gunfire. He used his car mirror to drive without the seat right up and used the front car as a sort of boomerang, or what do you call boomerang? You know, a big huge boulder kind of thing, to take out some of the gunners from the back of his car. Took a bullet to the chest. He has a step explosion trap. A grenade set on pressure crusher machine that blew it up in time. Barbed wire as a sort of net trap, and then yanked out of a room by stapler being the trigger. Mouse traps on the walls and doors. When activated, turned into shotgun blasts. Used a body of and a fridge to block against bullets. Air pressure device that flung iron poles at you, a batch of grenades dangling in the air ready to be dropped by the proper aim to a string holding it, took the main baddie out with a car windshield, the landmine from earlier, and using this shield to nail him with it. So he kind of like pressed him against like a sandwich with the windshield and the landmine, and blew him up that way, and took out at least 30 to 40 men, and that was with the help, of course, of his crew. Now, representing the accountant film, The Accountant, Christian Wolf. He was a teenager, and he was able to complete a puzzle in a short period of time without seeing the sketch of the puzzle. He did this having facing it face down as he put it together. Using his accountant smarts to help a struggling family, using technicalities to call a small space a work business to help with their taxes. For target practice, he shot some watermelons from a mile away. Back in 2006, he took out 2 guys with a steak knife and takes out 7 guys with their own guns after that. Headshots. Took a man with 1 clear hit to the head. Broke a wooden roll-up tool with his shin in 2. When he was a teen, him and his brother would take a beating by a grown man who was bigger than them because his father wanted them to be prepared for the world. He sniped a man as he wanted to point a gun at an innocent neighbor. Beat a man who had a knife using only his belt. He then hogtied his neck and started interrogating him into telling him who was his employer. A girl he liked was about to get taken out. He snuck into her building, walked into the hallway, and took out 1 guy with his hand and a silencer gun, and then another with when he was approaching them to stop the fight. Took another man when he took at the door entrance, and then the last guy he took at ramming his head into a bathroom sink. He has a trailer filled with high-tech weapons and money to fund a small rebel army. He lived in 34 homes since his father moved place to place because of his position in the military. When he was a teen, he took on 3 bullies on his own before his brother came to help him out. When the feds checked in on him, they saw infrared cameras along with regular cameras to monitor his backyard, hiding them in the trees. For any poor soul attempting to come from the front, he has a fully automatic machine gun strapped into his garage that can turn a car into tinfoil. A man being heavily guarded from outside his home. From within, the boy first eliminates the outside perimeter by ending a few and zip tying the rest. Sniped inside the place, has 4 men attempt to come at him through the front entrance, only for him to finish them off with close-up shots and distant ones. Took a bullet to the chest, entering, and then takes 3 guys out using a gun and some crazy fighting moves. Fell off a 2nd level attempting to take a man down, and then put a bullet in his head. Another guy he took out, placing a grenade to his chest and then holding him long enough for the grenade to go off inside his vest. Received a busted leg in the process, and then he actually tied it up and put pressure on it so that way it wouldn't bleed out. Fought his brother for a moment, shot the main villain point blank in the forehead, right between the eyes. Alright, so let's talk about the end game, how one would win the other. Let's talk about Mr. Nobody. Nobody has been taking beatings throughout his life, so a straight up fight might work more for him, as he knows how to think on his feet and take on one heck of a beating. He had more time in the film to showcase his talents for creating anything into a booby trap. While sure there is no mistaking the account's preparation detail, when you want something done in a tad quicker sense, safe bet is Mr. Nobody. A drag out fight favors Mr. Nobody, as he showed a lot more tolerance and endurance throughout the beatings he received, while the accountant didn't get to show how long he lasted till the very end, given his brother was the last obstacle and kind of gave him a breather at some point. He fought more guys with the fist than the accountant has, making his brawl not the best move on the accountant's behalf. pretty much saying that Mr. Nobody's going to be able to lay a fist much harder than Accountant has, since he's done it way more times. He has had way more work experience under his belt during his time on the field, making his experience that much greater than the Accountant's. He's better under pressure when you look at holding an active landmine to get a bad guy's attention, or a sitting duck in an alleyway getting gunned from both front and rear and still get out of that jam. Being taken alive and cuffed inside a truck. Whatever the case is, the guy has always found a way to adapt and react in such short notice. A blade turns up jammed into his body, and he'll pull it out and use it against the Accountant. Knows how to set traps given the time, can endure an extreme level of pain, and can take on more than one person at a time, proving it would take a lot to have Mr. Nobody become just a body. Now, representing on this corner, or sorry, not representing on this corner, but let me explain the argument on this end. Let's talk about the Accountant. He seems to have a better reaction time to countering moves than some do. Mr. Nobody has a few moves himself, but the calculated style in which the Accountant fights up close is truly unique. People of his mental condition are considered brilliant in their own right, even with sometimes unusual behavior or limitations, meaning he might even be social limitations is what I mean. He might be even more calculating than Mr. Nobody, as he might have more moves to counter his. As far as the physical stature, clearly the bigger of the two is obviously the Accountant, so his thunderous blows or overtaking him does have the potential to happen. He has the distance on his own side, as he got to demonstrate how dangerous he is with a sniper compared to Mr. Nobody, meaning he might finish him off before he even gets close enough to him. If he's around him, his mobile trailer, Mr. Nobody won't have a chance against him. He has all the toys to choose from when it comes to defending his spot. If he knows about Mr. Nobody's reputation, he could definitely put the work in advance to set some chess moves to get Mr. Nobody right where he wants him. He's pretty fast with a gun, meaning he might be able to get him before Mr. Nobody can take his shot. Cold but very calculating, experienced in the art of warfare, and take anyone out with a clean shot to the head from a close-up or far range. Most Accountants just do numbers. He does numbers too. The only difference is he also counts bodies. But ultimately, there has to be one clear winner for this fight, and my pick is Mr. Nobody. When you look at the experience and both men's ending to their respectable films, you can see Mr. Nobody can dish out more than the Accountant. The Accountant needed certain information to be able to do his job in taking out his targets, while Mr. Nobody might have done something similar as setting up traps at his business property, but that was to goad his prey into coming to him. When it comes to shot in the dark, Mr. Nobody proves he can come up with a play faster under intense situations. Some might claim the 9-man Italian bad guys as an argument that the Accountant can go in blind as well. But that was more of an emotional reaction to a loss of a friend than it was a well thought out plan. That's it, No Press fam. We really appreciate you watching, and if you enjoy this, please continue to watch more of our content to help us build our empire. Catch you guys later. Keeping it 800 subs. Peace. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy our content, you know what you guys can do. You can share, you can like, or you can subscribe to our channel. When you guys subscribe to our channel, you know what you do. You guys are building our empire and allowing us to provide you guys with even much more greater content for you guys to enjoy.